All right, how far are we willing to take this TeSlaa thing, Kyle? TeSlaa. Because the hype continues to grow out of control to the point where, like, okay, initially when they drafted Isaac TeSlaa, it was, at what point does he get worked in the middle of the season? If it was even that. Like, a lot of people, I think, were just kind of thinking, developmental piece, he'll sit behind J-Mo and Tim Patrick for this season, and then when you lose Tim Patrick, kind of replace that person. But now it's like, I don't know if Tim Patrick's quite the person he's replacing in the long term. He certainly could replace him in the short term. I'm thinking, I don't even know if I want Tim Patrick out there, because some of the stuff I've seen TeSlaa do in preseason, I watched 17 games in Tim Patrick last year and never saw him do any of this stuff. Some of the acrobatic ability to leap into the end zone and jump back and grab a ball in the middle of the air. It's like, I'm sorry. He's bringing something to the table that Tim Patrick is not. He's bringing something to the table that, quite frankly, no other receiver on the Lions is doing. This big playability, not that J-Mo or St. Brown doesn't have big playability, but the go-up, jump ball, contested catch person didn't exist on the Lions prior to Isaac TeSlaa joining the team. And now I'm thinking, how far are we willing to take this thing? What's the maximum that this guy could help us out this season in week 1? Because now all of a sudden I'm like, can this guy be our wide receiver 3?
Yeah, I mean, this guy also hasn't existed on the Lions probably in the Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell era. I mean, DJ Shark was kind of in that role when he was a Lion.
Right, Marvin Jones was supposed to be.
But there hasn't been a guy that at least is shown what TeSlaa can do so far in this era of the Lions. And it's kind of always been not the want, but it's been they don't really have that player. Now, they don't necessarily need that player because of how good St. Brown is and how big playability Jameson Williams is. But I'm with you. How can you not just get super excited based on what he's done in preseason? How has he not earned the wide receiver 3 role? I understand the veteran and the just experience that Tim Patrick has, and we talk about how much that stuff truly does matter, because it does. But, man, TeSlaa has earned it. Like, he has just been a straight stud. He has obviously been the star of preseason on both sides of the ball for the Lions. And it's not like this was some feel-good story that they took in the 7th round, a local kid, like, let's give him a shot. No, they traded up for this guy. You know, they traded away future draft capital in next year's draft to get him. Like, it makes a ton of sense for him to get that wide receiver 3 spot. As far as, like, how much he's going to be involved, that I still think I really don't know. I don't know if I'm maybe expecting too much, because I'm unsure what his role is going to be. But as far as how many snaps he gets, Tim Patrick can still go out there on 3rd down and stuff, but I would love to see TeSlaa out there the rest of the time.
Is it crazy to say Isaac TeSlaa is replacing Tim Patrick in the now, and he's replacing Jameson Williams in the long-term goals of this team? I mean, think about it. Look, I want the Lions to re-sign J-Mo, but I just don't know if that's entirely possible with having to sign Laporta, having to sign Branch, having to sign Hutchinson, having to sign Jahmyr Gibbs at some point. Like, you're going to have that 5th-year option, but I don't know if it's entirely possible to make him one of the highest-paid receivers in the NFL. If J-Mo has the breakout year that everyone is predicting him to have, the Lions can't afford him, because you still have to pay Laporta. You still have to pay Gibbs. You still have to pay Hutchinson. You still have to pay Brian Branch. Like, if he really does have the breakout year that you think he's going to have, maybe they can franchise tag him one, but they can't lock him down and make him one of the highest paid receivers in the NFL when you already have all of these expectations to pay these other guys, and you're already paying a different wide receiver to be one of the 10 highest paid guys in the league. I'm telling you, it's going to be like $20 million a year if you want to pay Jameson Williams in the long term. I don't know if the Lions can afford that. So I'm looking at this TeSlaa thing like, okay, like you're balling out here in camp. I'm not saying I want you to replace J-Mo, but it's like something that there's a map laid out for it to potentially happen. If he really takes off, maybe that's the idea here. Hey, let's pick up the 5th-year option. Maybe we franchise tag him once. And then we have this Isaac TeSlaa guy who's ready to take over.
I have not really thought about this, and it's pretty eye-opening because we've discussed this for weeks now. I mean, we've been really getting out ahead of this just as far as the Anzalone contract situation is the start of this. And they have so many young, talented players that at some point, unfortunately, it does come back to bite you. It's a good problem to have, but it's a problem nonetheless. It's probably too early to predict this happening, I would say. Like, we got to see how TeSlaa actually works out in real games with Jared Goff. That's something we haven't seen yet. the connection with him and Kyle Allen obviously is real. But TeSlaa probably hasn't gotten a ton of work with the first team yet.
From what I understand, a lot of one-on-one reps with Jared Goff.
Right.
Hasn't really worked on with the first team like he has with the second
Even
team.
7-on-7 stuff, it's really been a lot of just, like that, those short drills. So, I don't know. It's something that I almost don't want to think about. It sucks to think about. I get that you have to do it, but they also have the ability to, like you said, give Jamo that fifth-year option. And then we see this happen a lot with receivers, specifically in this role where they get the tag for at least a year before a contract comes. So, I don't know. Like you said, the big year from Jamo almost is a bad thing contract-wise for the Lions because it almost guarantees that he probably is not going to get that super big bag. But we all want him to have that breakout season, don't we?
Yeah, I want him to get paid by
Of
somebody.
course. Yeah, I mean, we want him to get paid by the Lions. We want him to be on the Lions, of course. But
You got to be realistic about it, too.
TeSlaa is really living up to the hype, and it does end up being one of the better receivers from this draft class long term. I don't think that's going to happen as a rookie. The opportunity is not going to be there compared to all the other receivers.
But
Then
it's not like there was some generational guy at the top this
Right,
year.
it's not like in the
Other
last
than
previous
Travis Hunter.
years. The last 4 or 5 years, the rookie wide receivers have just been insane right away. And this year, it's like you said, Travis Hunter, who really isn't even just a receiver. I mean, obviously he's not. Tet McMillan is not some Malik Neighbors or Brian Thomas Jr. even. So, yeah, there's a world where TeSlaa gets his name towards the top of the list for this year's draft class. And if he does that, then it does make sense. But as far as our expectation and excitement for this year, I'm all in, dude. It sucks, but how can you not be? How can you not be all in on what he's shown in preseason and be like, yeah, this guy needs to be playing a ton and actually needs to get worked into things?
You're not like all in a way where
I'm all in on him being the wide receiver 3 over Tim Patrick.
Okay,
like
that's what I was
that's
asking.
What I mean. Yeah.
But you don't think he can win like
No,
an offensive
no,
rookie of the year
no.
or anything, do you?
Oh no, I don't even.
I think with
he
more
can,
opportunity,
he can't even
it would
be
be
a top 5
possible.
weapon on this team, probably.
If he was somewhere with more opportunity, I think it'd be possible. Like just based on the flashes
What's
that we've
Arkansas
seen.
doing with this kid, man?
That's what I'm saying. He barely got the ball at
300
Arkansas.
receiving yards, like.
Just throw him. Just lob it up to him. He's bound to come down with it.
Yeah, and like in the worm, by the way. Whew,
Oh, that was clean.
that's a clean worm, dude. Worm is tough.
He was like,
In the
J-Mo, this is
pads?
how you kind of do it, not what you did in the
give
playoffs.
me that J-Mo Selly every time.
You said they got rid of the nose celebration that Amon-Ra did, the slime.
Oh, did they get rid of that?
That you're not allowed to do that anymore.
Really?
Yeah, no fun league.
What we need to do is we need to get the St. Brown upside down thing, but with TeSlaa and J-Mo. All the receivers need to do
All
it.
3 of them do it.
Yes, because TeSlaa has shown he probably can do that. If you can worm, you can do that.
What do you think he is to win
Oh, man.
Rookie of the Year?
Plus 25,000 probably. Plus 15,000.
Trying to count my zeros. Plus
So
10,000.
you probably got to be scrolling and scrolling, yeah.
Plus 10,000.
There's no shot. I mean, there's just no chance. There's also a starting quarterback there, so like that is just obviously going to be an easier choice.
I don't think that's gonna
Like I
happen.
said, I think you could even shrink it down to he won't even be a top 5 weapon on the team.
Right, but long
Not
term
even
wise,
top 6, but
he might be one of those guys like he's if anyone who plays Dynasty, you know exactly what I'm talking about. He's a taxi squad guy. Just stash him on the taxi squad, and 3 years from now it might be like, oh my God, this is like having a breakout season. The first year J-Mo isn't around. And again, I want J-Mo to be around long term. I'm just trying to think ahead, be realistic.
Well, yeah,
about
but
things.
the J-Mo stuff was way different though coming out. I mean, like that's just a way different situation.
Yeah. There hasn't been. I mean, I don't think he'll outproduce Amon-Ra's rookie season by any means.
But Amon-Ra once again came in and was basically like, this is the worst wide receiver room in the NFL, so you clearly have an open opportunity to being the top guy.
And I think he'll outperform J-Mo because J-Mo had 1 catch as a rookie.
Right. Didn't play at all, was coming off a major injury.
But there's not really a comparison for like the Campbell Holmes era.
No, this is different. This is something new. And I think that it's exciting, but it also makes it difficult for us to predict how they're going to handle it because they did bring back Tim Patrick, but Tim Patrick was pretty open about this kind of being a weird situation for him, has also dealt with injuries in preseason, didn't seem to have the greatest of camps, but I think that was mainly just because he hadn't participated in camp in several seasons.
Well, he said like it was much harder than any camp he's been around.
Right.
He said he was frustrated with himself because of the lack of production, and then he got hurt.
Right.
It's like, hey man, probably shouldn't have got. I mean, obviously he didn't try to get hurt, but like,
What are you doing, man?
Bad timing to get hurt with this Isaac TeSlaa third-round pick just balling out on a week-to-week basis in preseason. Not great timing for Mr. Tim Patrick.
All right, so who gets more snaps week 1 against Green Bay? Isaac TeSlaa or Tim Patrick? I think we can assume Patrick is healthy, right?
I think it's Tim Patrick.
You still think it's Patrick?
You're asking my prediction, not what I'm asking for.
No, I'm asking your prediction, yeah.
I think it's Tim Patrick.
But obviously on the season, I think we can assume TeSlaa will outperform Patrick, right? Like at some point,
I hope so.
TeSlaa takes it over.
The thing that's holding me back is actually, if we're going to compare it to another rookie, I don't even think it's a wide receiver. It's Gibbs. How many carries do you think Gibbs got his first 2 games? It was the same number. Kansas City and Seattle.
He had like 6 carries.
7 in each.
Yeah.
And he was a first-round pick. TeSlaa's a third-round pick with a bunch of guys in front of him.
Yeah, but
is he going to get more than one? Like, I'm setting the over-under in targets for week 1 at 0.5, right?
Yeah, I would say like 2 targets max probably. But like that's probably what Tim Patrick would also get. That's what I'm saying. It's not like the Gibbs thing was different because you have a David Montgomery who is a borderline top 10 running back in the league with Gibbs coming in. I understand he was first round and everything, but like, I don't know. This is about the wide receiver 3 role. It's not like he's coming in to be the top guy, whereas Gibbs was. So I still think that there's a big-time world where he gets that job right away.
Tim Patrick didn't even play last year in week 1? Why do I not remember that? Was he hurt? They're easing him back in?
Yeah, I don't remember that either. But also, we do have to remember Khalif Raymond exists. He's like the true wide receiver 3 of the team, I would say, just not in a role of like the X guy, and having the Z and having like that. I think that Khalif will be the third. Will he have the third most production receiver-wise this season?
No.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Wait, TeSlaa or?
No, Khalif Raymond.
Oh, no, I think it's TeSlaa or Patrick.
Okay.
Patrick is usually getting like 3 carries or 3 targets a game.
Exactly.
Like 2 receptions.
I don't think it's going to be TeSlaa's going to come in and break the world, but just the fact of him earning that spot over Patrick is a big deal.
But it's also someone like Tim Patrick's probably the safer option to like run a little dig route or something. But if you need like some explosiveness in the offense, your offense has been a little bit half asleep for the first half of the game. Like, who's the better option to throw out there and give you a spark?
Right.
It's Isaac TeSlaa, both in run after the catch, which Tim Patrick doesn't necessarily specialize in. Most yards he had after the catch last year was 30. So it's not like there's like a huge run after catch potential. He's not really a jump ball getter in terms of the contested catch rate. 25% last year. It's not like he's some jump ball guy. And if the Lions need a little bit of a spark, TeSlaa has all the upside in the world. Tim Patrick's the safer option. That's where I stand on it. 989-837-6125. How far are you willing to take the Isaac TeSlaa hype? We'll get some Mitt